Customs. I'm Michael. I hope everyone is having a great day. So we took a little hiatus yesterday, shot a minute and a half video, got that posted. Still feeling a little burnout, but it's all right. We're back out here at it. I was going to go over to Glenn's house tonight and work on my battery, and he had just seen my text message a few minutes ago. It's a little late for me to get over there and get it done and get the video edited and uploaded. So for us to make this video, we've already had drama. I got the Explorer stuck a week or two ago, and it's been sitting right there, and I went out there and just said, okay, it'll move. It's dry enough today. No, it won't dry enough today. We ended up having to get the tractor, and Valerie helped me get the Explorer out. Okay, so what we're doing today is getting in preparation for the battery install inside the Explorer. We still got a couple of things we need to do. We got a switch we need to install when we get the battery built. I'm going to have to buy a couple of gauges, so get online and order those tonight. But we can hook the battery up without all that stuff right this second. But what I've got here is a set of Kicker BT4, this battery terminal 4, brass, or I think they're brass terminals. And as you can see, I don't know what this janky stuff here is. This is what we would call some Wayne County engineering or something. There ain't no excuse for that. Except for the battery terminal was broken, and I decided, that was the way to fix it at the time. So this is to go ahead and get y'all up to speed, this is a AGM battery under the hood. We may need to get the hold down doesn't even fit this battery. That's nice. I think the hold down is stuck on there. Anyway, we'll do something to attach that down. So this is going to give us some good mounting points for our cable that goes back to, and we may need to replace a cable. It's got some corrosion in that one, but that's the cable that goes to the back battery for the amplifier. We're not hooking that up tonight. We can also hook them to these posts. So we will have enough, I was worried about it. I was like, oh, these only have 3 places to install cables. We'll have plenty of places to install cables when we get ready to get that far along. When we probably going to do a big 3 upgrade on this, and probably I kind of looked today, I think you can get a 300 amp alternator for this, somewhere around $250. So I'm going to check into that again tonight. So I'm not sure when that's going to happen. It's not a priority. Okay guys, so this is what's in the kit. You have a terminal, and it's got this little piece inside of it that you knock out so that it fits your positive battery terminal. That's going to have to come out for the positive. It's got 3 screws, and these, I want to say those will come out if you take the screw all the way out, because it's supposed to accept one aught wire, which is 1 0 wire gauge, or 0 gauge as the radio guys call it. And like I said, we're going to start with a positive. I apologize, I unhooked the positive first. You should always unhook your negative first and hook it up last, so as you do not create sparks. Okay guys, I forgot to mention that it also comes with one of them was missing. There's a screw, probably where you can put another post on the side of that battery. I think this post may have been installed in something, so shame on that eBay seller. And it also come with a wing nut for the negative top that was black. So if you've never seen one of these, they make these pliers for cutting cable, and we're just going to snip, give this old battery cable here the old snippety snip. And there is bye-bye. So I'd say you'd probably have a hard time going to the parts store and buying decent cables. I would, but we may have to get a longer cable. This one should just go, one wire goes probably to the alternator, and the other wire would go to wherever that Ford starter relay. It may just have, it may not have the starter solenoid on this. It's on the starter on there. So, like I said, we're just gonna, if you notice, you can take this pair of cut snips and just go real easy around the wire or cable. This works really good for all sizes of cable, and just, snip it back. We may need it snipped back just a little bit more than that. Now, like I said, I'm losing my cover. We got to go into I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, like I said, these are these holes accept 1/0 wire. This accepts, it looks like probably a 2-gauge wire. Okay, guys, that is, the little bolt is a 3mm. And we are trying to get both wires in that same. And I just dropped the 3mm. I will never find that. It is gone forever. Okay. All right, guys. So before we bolt up the negative side, this is just like the positive side. There's enough room for two 1/0 grounds to go into the negative side of the battery. So why would we want that? We need to run a 1/0 ground to the. We need to run a 1/0 ground over to the body of the truck, and we also need to run a 1/0 ground to the engine. And that's just one of those situations where you need to have as big a cable coming back on the negative side as you've got on the positive side. So we're adding the 1/0 run that runs through this. There is a 250 amp fuse. That's enough amperage to protect, to cover the amps that's in this cable. There is enough, like I said, that cable runs to the back battery, and all the amps inside the truck run off of the back battery, but this is where the charge goes from this battery to the back battery, or from the alternator to the back battery, and it will be connected. We will cut it off and connect it here. I'm also going to try to neaten up these connections a little bit. I don't really like them. The positive side is, we could use some more cable. I'm going to neaten up the negative side too before it's all said and done. We'll probably get into that when we do the Big 3 upgrade, and we'll get into that later on, probably before we put an alternator on. I'm not sure when we're going to do that. The truck runs, what we're doing right now is pretty much overkill for what we've got. It's not really going to add anything to what I've already got. So far as power wise, it will be interesting to see if we can get a little higher number on the meter. And Glenn does have a meter, so we will be metering this. I don't know if we'll be metering it tomorrow night or whether it'll be, one day next week, but we will be metering this thing at, I think this box peaks at 42. somewhere between 42 and 45 hertz. So we'll run a sweep from 42 to 45 and see what it's peaking at now. But that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and see y'all tomorrow.